A revealing split is emerging inside Russia's strategic thinking over U.S. President Donald Trump, MAGA, and the future of Ukraine. One that exposes how Moscow views the war not as a conflict to end, but as a prize to be secured. On his Telegram channel, Russian ultra-nationalist ideologue Alexander Dugin laid out what he described as a deal between Russia and Trump-aligned America. Dugin argued that Trump originally held sensible views on Ukraine, repeatedly framing the war as former President Joe Biden's war and promising to end it by withdrawing U.S. support. According to Dugin, had Trump followed through, Russia would have taken Kiev quickly. But Dugin claims Trump changed course, drifted away from MAGA principles, and fell back under the influence of neoconservatives, the so-called deep state, and globalists. Still, Dugin insists Russia's strategy remains to support MAGA and Trump, describing a vision he calls the spirit of anchorage, a return to Cold War-style spheres of influence. And in that vision, Ukraine does not exist. Dugin is blunt. Under no scenario should Ukraine survive as a sovereign state. Ukraine is ours, he wrote in his post, while the rest of the world's power balance remains negotiable. He praises Trump's rejection of globalism, hostility to the European Union, and emphasis on traditional values, while acknowledging friction over Russia's alliance with China and the rise of BRICS. Trump, Dugin added, is a variable, inconsistent, unpredictable, but Russian goals are constant. Victory, one way or another, is inevitable. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin's top foreign policy advisor, Yuri Ushakov, has now rejected the latest amendments to a Trump-backed peace framework, even while admitting he hasn't actually read them. Ushakov dismissed European and Ukrainian proposals outright, saying they do not improve the document or advance long-term peace. He also played down the idea of a three-way summit between Washington, Moscow, and Kiev. His remarks followed comments from Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, who said talks with Ukrainian and European negotiators in Florida were productive and constructive. Witkoff stressed a shared priority: stopping the killing, ensuring security guarantees, and creating conditions for Ukraine's recovery and long-term stability. Ukraine, Witkoff said, remains committed to a just and sustainable peace. But the contrast is unmistakable. While Trump's envoys speak the language of compromise and reconstruction, influential voices in Moscow are speaking the language of conquest and openly betting that American politics will once again tip the battlefield in Russia's favor.
We are concluding this historic week for Ukraine. It has been a truly significant diplomatic week. Most importantly, we have secured 90 billion euros for Ukraine for the next 2 years. This is a key December outcome, and in many ways the most important of the whole year. Europe has made a positive decision. We fought for this decision for a very long time. I want to thank everyone who helped us. It's important that Russian assets remain in Europe, remaining blocked. Ukraine will receive a minimum of 45 billion euros annually for the next 2 years. And these funds can only be returned from Russian assets. Russia must pay for its war. Also, the Ukrainian negotiating team is currently working in Florida. Today we have more meetings scheduled with the American delegation, specifically with representatives of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Work is actively continuing on the preparation of important documents regarding the cessation of hostilities, security guarantees, and the country's reconstruction. They are going through each and every point in great detail, and there is a constructive approach being taken with the American side. This is extremely important. They are also discussing the overall timing and the potential timeframes for various decisions that need to be made.